Next question comes from Channel All-Star, Jay Spees. When is the time to do SOPs? Do you focus on safety SOPs first, production SOPs? And why did you make that decision? Thanks and cheers. Jay, great question. I know you've got your own project on the way. Definitely when you've got a name, location, all that stuff, and you feel comfortable, let me know. I'll give you some shout outs on here as we run up to it. It's one of my favorite parts of this channel is watching people that have started, as part of our community here, and then they end up making that move on the pro side. It's very exciting. It's a wonderful feeling to be a small part of that, to see your growth. So excited for what you have coming, brother. Great question about SOPs. I did an interview with the esteemed Julian Trago from Beechwood. If you have not seen that, you need to check it out. It's super, super good. Julian's a really smart guy. I had a blast talking to him. Man, I just loved it. You really need to check that one out. We talked about SOPs in there, and he mentions, and it was my experience as well, SOPs are necessary when it's more than just you doing something. As soon as there's more than one person in the brewery doing something, that's when you need them, right? To make sure that you are staying on the same page. I also think there's utility in having some nice, detailed, kind of formal looking SOPs in case you have any governmental agencies that want to come in and see what you have going on. Someday, OSHA is going to come into your brewery. I don't know if it's this decade or not, but we need to tighten up. We need to start pretending like we make food, because we do. From that aspect, I think it's important to have SOPs up front. And I think the most important ones are to be showing an agency that you are effectively cleaning and sanitizing your tanks, lines, X, Y, and Z, heat exchanger. Also, that you understand how to safely use chemical. I think that's a big part of it. Beyond that, I would say if you're in the build out process and you want to formalize some of these things because you have some downtime with, maybe an inevitable delay in the process, you can work on brushing those things up. They should always be as the Constitution of the United States, a living document, right? Version 1.0, 1.1, or 2.0, or whatever. Always a living document. And then when you talk about, do you focus on safety or production SOPs first? I think, and I'm not trying to sound too corny, I think it's one and the same on some level. And yeah, you might need some specific things that are specific, some SOPs that are specifically dealing with safety, but you should be building into your processes things that facilitate safety. If you want to have a binder that's kind of specific X, Y, and Z as far as chemicals, different things like that, but your other SOPs, when you're including the equipment that you need to be using, because you can find forms like that, equipment needed up at the top under the title, and you can say requisite PPE, whether it be gloves, goggles, glasses, boots, apron, whatever, right? So yeah, I would kind of look at it like that, Jay, and build like that. Hope that answers your question.